play out the same, the same, the same, the same. Hey, I love you better today than yesterday. And every day it's gonna play out the same. It's gonna play out the same. Growing as one, not growing apart. Apart. Say what we mean, say it from the heart. From the heart. Wrinkles and grays, don't be alarmed, because you're safe with me. They're beautiful signs of our story so far, so far. Both called it from the beginning. We called it, we called it. We knew that there had to be an us. Knew that there had to be an us. Do what we gotta do to stay winning, winning. Fights and fights will keep trust. And you make me wanna say, I love you better today than yesterday. And every day it's gonna play out the same, the same, the same. Gonna play out the same. I love you better today than yesterday. And every day it's gonna play out the same. It's gonna play out the same. La, da, 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 da.
Good morning. It is Wednesday morning and I think I am just about ready to actually make a start on this vlog. So I have a couple of things that I need to open for you guys, but just at the moment, just gonna let you guys know that I'm still reading Hollowpox. It's upside down. I'm still reading Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is a middle grade story. It is the third installment in the Nevermore series, which follows a girl called Morgan Crow who believes that she is a cursed child. Everything in the town where she lives that goes wrong is blamed on her, and she is also destined to die on the eve of her 12th birthday. However, during her town's bidding day, which is when influential members of the community come together and bid on children to take on as apprentices, Morrigan is swept away to the magical city of Nevermore by Jupiter North, who enters her into a series of trials to gain entry to the Wondrous Society. I'm really enjoying this. You may have noticed, because I'm starting this vlog on Wednesday, I've had a little bit of a slumpy week, not necessarily reading wise, although it is also reading wise, but just everything. I'm just real slumpy. I've been watching TV, I've been playing strategy card games with Curtis, and I'm currently on page 240-ish of this, I think 236. So by my schedule, which I have a pretty easy schedule this month because I said I only need to read 100 pages a day and I'll be happy with that, I need to finish this today, which is 240 pages. So I do want to do that today, but the next thing I'm going to do is film my video for tomorrow and then package a whole bunch of candle orders. I've been feeling slumpy in terms of just meh feeling, but I have been working a lot. I made over 100 candles on Monday. I packaged and sent away over 75 of those yesterday, and today after I filmed I'm going to do another round of sending out. I think I can get another 24-ish orders out today at least. So like I said, I do have a couple of packages to open for you guys, but for now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna film my video, because the sooner I do all of that, the sooner I can package orders and the more chill I will feel when all of that is done, because my day's work will be done, obviously, makes sense. So I was going to go and film my video before I came and opened these parcels. However, I forgot to charge my spare camera battery and I don't quite have a full charge. So I guess while I'm waiting for that, I may as well crack on and open some things for you guys. So the first one I have to open for you guys is from the wonderful Gaston Luga. They kindly reached out to me again and asked if I would like another backpack. So Gaston Luga are a backpack company. They have quite a few different ranges and do backpacks in all different sizes. All of the leather on their bags is vegan leather. I exclusively use their backpacks now. I have a black one and a red one, and the black one was the one that I got first, and I use that every day to take to work, and it is not damaged at all. There's a tiny bit of wear on it, but in terms of like the straps and everything like that, nothing has snapped. It is still a perfectly wearable backpack. There is no wearing on the straps, which is something that I always found when I was at college especially, but also going to work, is that the straps on my bags would always snap within a couple of months, and I've had that one for well over a year now. and that one is absolutely fine. And then earlier this year I did get a red one, which is the one that I'm currently using. I have to say, well, I'm in lockdown, so I haven't used that one quite as much as I was using the black one, but I did take it when I went to London, and it's super spacious. All of their bags are super spacious. They have like tons of pockets and stuff in. They're really, really cool. So let's actually open this one up. So we have the dust bag. I'm really excited to see this one. So because I already have a black and a red, this one is the campus style in midnight blue. This is one of the medium-sized ones. They do have some really big ones. However, as I don't go to work anymore, I work from home, I don't need an enormous one. But that being said, I do carry around just a lot of random things that I really don't need to carry around with me on a daily basis. So inside all of their bags, they also have a padded laptop sleeve. I usually stick my book in that section and then put like my purse, I say an umbrella. Do I ever carry an umbrella? No, because I always forget. But like my purse, my keys and everything go down the front, and I stick my book in the laptop section. You also have a zipped pouch on the inside, so if you want to keep anything separate, you can put it in there. And then you also have a zipped pouch on the front. Now I normally, in the front pouches, I normally put like lip balm or lipstick, a pack of tissues. My camera sometimes goes in one of the front pockets if I'm going to need like easy access for vlogging. Ooh, this one has like really comfortable looking straps as well. This one is designed to protect your shoulders. I would say of the three that I've got, this one is the most like casual looking one. I have the black classy, which is like the fanciest looking one, and then I also have the Parlin in red, which is, I want to say it's like an in-between. It's in between like a fancier looking one and a more casual one. But thank you so much to Gaston Luga for sending this to me. I absolutely love it. Honestly, I already have two of these bags. I absolutely adore them. They're so useful, so spacious, and I cannot imagine going back to a regular handbag now. Like, no way, never. I like having my arms free, and these have plenty of room to carry everything I need. So I will put the link to Gaston Luga in my description box for you guys. I do have a discount code for you guys as well. My code is thebooks10, and that will get you a 10% off discount on your order. But then also on top of my discount code, when this video goes live, they will be running a Black Friday sale. I think it's from the 13th to the 30th of November, and there is 20% off everything across the entire store. You can use both as well, so you can get your 20% off and you can use my 10% off discount code, which will get you 30% off these backpacks, which honestly is a steal. So I do have two other parcels that I got to unbox for you guys, and they are the Amazon parcels that I received last week. So I found out after I posted last week's vlog that these are from Linda, the lovely, wonderful Linda. But Linda sent me a message on Twitter after my vlog went live and said that these are absolutely 100% not for Christmas, and she ordered me to open them. So I'm opening them. This one is the one that is actually off my wish list. She did confirm that she did send me something a little bit extra, so I'm excited to have a look and see what's in here. But I think first we'll go with the one that is probably a book. Ah, Linda! So this one is Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. The note says, "Hey Becca, hope you like this book. I have it but haven't started it yet. Also, this is not your Christmas book from me, lol," from Linda. Thank you so much, Linda. You did not have to do this. My wish list was for Christmas only. Stop it. So I don't actually know too much about this. I've seen a lot of people reading it recently. I believe it's only just been released. It's a 2020 release. Yeah, it's a 2020 release. But I did just read Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and I did not want to pick this up or put it on my wish list or anything until I read that book. But I did read it and I really enjoyed it. This is a very different type of novel from what I remember. But one thing that I said about Gods of Jade and Shadow that I really enjoyed is that it is undoubtedly very well written. I've been into my spooky shit recently. I've watched all of Hill House. I binged that in 24 hours. I currently have 2 episodes of Bly Manor left, which I think I'm going to watch tonight. But yeah, this kind of, I'm assuming it's like a slow horror kind of book is definitely what I'm feeling right now. The little bit that's like at the top of the synopsis that isn't the actual synopsis says, the acclaimed author of Gods of Jade and Shadow returns with a mesmerizing feminist reimagining of gothic fantasy in which a young socialite discovers the haunting secrets of a beautiful old mansion in 1950s Mexico. So the synopsis says that the main character receives a letter from her newlywed cousin who is begging to be rescued from a mysterious doom. So she thinks that her new husband is poisoning her. So the main character goes to check this out, even though she's a socialite and not like a detective or anything like that. And she has a very strong will. So she's not scared of the husband. She's not scared of the husband's father. However, the house begins to invade her dreams with visions of blood and doom. Thank you so much, Linda. As usual, you go above and beyond. And speaking of Linda going above and beyond, I don't know what's in this one. She said it's something that used to be on my wish list that she tried to send me last year and it wouldn't let her, but it was still in her basket, so she checked out. Linda, you didn't. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god, they're the cinnamon ones. Linda sent me cinnamon vanilla coffee creamer. Oh my god, thank you so much. Not sure if you still use these, but I had it in my save for later on Amazon, so I'm sure you wanted these at some point. Linda, I love coffee and I love coffee creamer, but in the UK coffee creamer doesn't exist. It is very hard to get hold of in the UK. You can get it as a US import, but you can only either get the powdered stuff or these little capsules, and we do have the little capsules in the UK, but just as like a plain milk for places like offices so that they don't have to stock fresh milk all the time for their coffees. I love coffee creamer and it's just so hard to get hold of. Thank you so much, Linda. So this one is the cinnamon vanilla cream one. Autumn, who is another wonderful person, sent me a whole box of different creamers last year as well, and I think Cody sent me some for Christmas last year. Honestly, just coffee creamer is an instant gift for me. Like, you see any coffee creamer lying around, send it my way because I will always use it. So thank you so much, Linda. Thank you. You didn't need to do this. You should have saved these until Christmas at least if you were going to send them. I really want to make a coffee now. I may have to go do that. So I'm back again. At this point I may as well have just made a damn daily vlog, but I just wanted to do a taste test of this before I started filming. I'm gonna burn myself, I know. This is a stupid thing to do. I didn't put any sweetener in this, oh my god. Okay, I'm back. This time with sweetener in my coffee. That is good. That is good. Oh my god. Thank you again, Linda. You have made me a very happy girl. Good morning, guys. I have just woken up, so I'm not quite functioning like a human yet, but it is 9:30ish. Yeah, just past 9:30, and surprisingly nobody saw this coming. But yesterday I said to stay on track for my November TBR I had to read half of Owlcrate in a day. I did it. I finished this at just past 1 AM this morning. So I read 235 pages between, I think I started at 8 and I took a couple of like 15-minute breaks and I finished just after 1 AM. So I gave this 5 stars. I love this story so much. I love how imaginative Jessica Townsend is with the world and just how well she builds it. This is a children's story. Like, you can tell it's a children's story, but it doesn't read like a children's story, like a typical children's middle grade story that I've read. It reads as just a really imaginative, magical book. I think one of the reasons for that is that Jessica Townsend doesn't dumb this down. Like, she doesn't speak down to children, which is something that I find annoying when I'm reading children's books, just because children do have the capability themselves to recognize that they don't understand what maybe one word is and to go and look that up. Especially in the age of the internet. Like, when I was a kid it was more difficult and I had to ask like my mum, what does this word mean? But now the internet is literally right there. Like, when I was a kid we did have internet. I'm not that old, but I think that the first like desktop computer for home became more popular and more acceptable for like normal people to have when I was around, I I want to say 6 or 7 years old. I think it was 1999-ish, so I would have been 6. And I really like that she does that. I mean, there were a couple of words in here. Like, oh, one that I remember specifically was the word cloche, which is like the thing that you put over food, like in hotels where they serve food on a plate with like a dome over it. The dome is called cloche. That is a word that I know, like I know what a cloche is, but it's not something that I read every day. It's not a word that I interact with more than probably twice a year. So even I read cloche and I was like, I know what a cloche is. Remember what a cloche is. I mean, I know this is early days because there's going to be between 6 and 9 books in the Nevermore series, but I'm really excited to see what she comes up with after the Nevermore series as well. I'm really excited for the rest of the books in the Nevermore series, but I just want her to write forever, and I want all of Jessica Townsend's books because she is just a fantastic writer. This was super poignant as well. I mentioned in last week's vlog that the plot of this is to do with the Wunimals, and Wunimals are pretty much like talking sentient animals. It's pretty much the same plot of Wicked, where the Wunimals are being infected with something that's called the Hollowpox, which makes them rampage and get really aggressive and then turn hollow. So this book deals with a disease. It's also similar to life as we know it at the moment in ways like there are lockdowns and curfews and things to try and keep people safe, and as well as the whole like disease side of things being especially poignant, there is a lot in here about prejudice and protests and things springing up because of prejudice. This whole book is just really poignant for 2020. The disease that's happening is very different to COVID. It's not like a flu-like disease or anything like that, but just the events of this book do mirror 2020 a little bit scarily. Something else I really loved about this, like the other books in the series have been incredibly diverse anyway, but there is an introduction of a female-female relationship in here, which I definitely appreciated. Obviously, it's not like a focus of the story and it's only kind of briefly mentioned because it's a children's book, but I did really love that that was included in here. So 5 stars, loved it so much, can't wait for book 4. I looked on Goodreads, book 4 doesn't even have like an untitled placeholder, although I looked it up and it has been confirmed that Jessica Townsend has been signed on to write and publish at least the next 3 books in this series so far. So I am participating in 2 readathons in November. The Believathon, hosted by Gavin, which is a month-long middle grade readathon, and this collected 4 clues for that, and I can't remember what they are right now. They were The Key, which is a book that contains a mystery, whichever clue it was for a book that features ghosts, The Hand Mirror, which was a book with a beautiful cover, and I can't remember what the 4th one was. And then for the Clear Your Shit readathon, this one fulfilled the prompt to read a book with an animal in it, and they're not technically animals, they're unimals or wunimals or like Fens and Magnificat, but there are definitely lots of animal, unimal, wunimal, Magnificat creatures in here. It's pretty much about them. This is the one in the series that has the most of those creatures in it. Oh, and for my book club, please TBR, this was on there to read a middle grade. So the next book that I will be picking up is Arcanum Unbounded by Brandon Sanderson. This book is a bind up of, I was going to say all of the Cosmere novellas, but I believe that Brandon Sanderson just published a new Stormlight novella, I think yesterday. So it no longer contains all of them, but it has a ton of the novellas that go with Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere in it. So I'm only going to be reading Edgedancer, which is the last one in this book, and I am aiming to read it all today because it is only, I think, around 130 pages. It's that much of it. Edgedancer is, I don't even know, it's the 2.5 installment in the Stormlight Archive, but the Stormlight Archive main magical plot wise is to do with these ancient magical knights that are returning and coming back into power to fight the apocalypse, and they all have different names and purposes, and one of these like sections of the Knights Radiant are called the Edgedancers. Now the way that the Stormlight Archives are laid out as books, they are in sections, so you'll have like part 1 and then a set of interludes, and then part 2 and then a set of interludes, and in one of the interludes in Words of Radiance towards the end, we meet a character called Lift, who is an Edgedancer. So I'm going to drink my coffee. I've been talking for longer than I expected to. I'm going to drink my coffee, read a tiny bit of this, get on with editing yesterday's video, which I have quite a lot of footage for, and that will probably take me until around midday. So then I will get some lunch and spend the rest of my day making candles.
miss you most in the fall. 3 years, 11 months together after one night in Montreal. Red leaves are in the breeze of Nashville, and now I share this bed with someone new. Something's in the way the sunlight's hitting, it's got me thinking about you. Maybe it's the long nights and the short cold days, or the rate that the planets change position. Or maybe everything just has a time and place, and that's why you and I are out of season.
Hey guys, it's Saturday afternoon. It's not too late actually, it's just past 2. I'm going to be bringing you a quick-ish update because I have somebody coming in around 15 minutes. I don't know if he'll be early, might be late. He was supposed to be here earlier to like give me a quote for some stuff that he's doing in the house. But last night, it wasn't that late, but I just didn't really feel I had a bad day yesterday. Nothing happened. I was just really just not good at all. It was a bad day. So yeah, yesterday was just a write-off. I did get a lot of work done. I packed candle orders. I filmed 2 unboxings, which I'm now editing, and I was supposed to be filming my mid-month wrap-up today, but one of the people, I have somebody else coming this weekend to give me a quote as well, which is a carpenter to have bookshelves installed in the alcove. And he said that he was coming like a few weeks ago. He said he'd come like within a week, and then he didn't. So then I ordered a bookcase, which is coming on Wednesday, and then he messaged last night and said that he can come this weekend to give me a price if I still want one. So he is coming at some point as well. Can't remember how I got onto this. Why did I get onto this? I really just don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Last night, I'm just gonna get back to the book. Last night I finished I didn't finish Arcane Unbounded. What is wrong with me? I remember I wanted to film my mid-month wrap-up today, but I knew that this guy was coming to give me a quote, and then the carpenter was going to come at some point in the weekend to give me a quote. And it's awkward enough when somebody comes to give me a quote on anything and they see like a ring light and a camera and all the setup and stuff like that, without it being like actually set up over there like I was actually filming. Like there could be nothing worse than me being in the middle of a video and a carpenter coming up to measure the bookshelves. So I decided not to do it today, although by the looks of it he may not be coming to give me a quote today anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna try and film my mid-month wrap-up in the morning and get it edited for tomorrow. If not, I'll put up the other unboxing tomorrow and the wrap-up on Monday. But actually talking about the books now, last night I finished Edgedancer by Brandon Sanderson. I gave it 4 stars like I predicted. I don't know if I mentioned it in this vlog, but last week I said I wasn't sure how much I would like this because it's following different characters, and from what I'd read of this character, it wasn't like a character I was super interested in, and that was pretty much the case. The story was relatively entertaining. There was like good back and forth between the 2 characters. I don't really want to say too much because spoilers or like revealing things about the Stormlight Archive, but I really liked the relationship between the 2 main characters that we had in this story. There were a couple of interesting things brought up about the series as a whole, and also a couple of bits of possibly important information. I've also noticed a possible connection between Edgedancer and Mistborn, although I don't know if I'm reading too much into it. So I enjoyed what it contained regarding to the rest of the series. I enjoyed that character dynamic, but overall I just wasn't overly interested in what was going on. I believe from reading the postscript on Edgedancer that the reason that this story was written is that the main character in this lift is going to... Oh, I'll hold that thought. Okay, so that is done. So yeah, the postscript pretty much says that Lift is going to become a character who is more relevant or more present later on in the Stormlight Archive. So Brandon Sanderson wanted to introduce her a bit more a little bit earlier on and lay the groundwork for her character, show a little bit of her background. So 4 stars for this. This was also a gift from the wonderful Tracy as well, so thank you so much Tracy for sending this to me. I have read the first like 200-ish pages now, I think, and the last 150, so it's just the middle section I need to work my way through. Oh, and for my TBR as well, I don't know where my notes are for Cleo shit, but for Bookopoly, this one was to read an adult fantasy. And after I finished Edgedancer, I started my next book, which is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. This is on my Bookopoly TBR because I believe it was a chance card, and for the Cleo shit readathon, this one is to read a scary book. This one was also a gift from Bev, so thank you so much, Bev, for gifting this to me. The gift note in this says congratulations on 10k. I think Bev gifted this to me last summer. I remember being sat on my bed at my dad's house and opening this actually and vlogging it. So yeah, thank you so much, Bev. I'm really excited to read this. I have already started. I'm on chapter 6, which is page 78, and I think I'm going to finish this tonight. Like, I knew that this would be a pretty quick read because I've noticed before that the text in here is quite large, but as it is supposed to be formatted like a catalogue, it's also like only half of the page. Like, there's not a lot of text here at all. So Horror Store is a horror, as you may imagine, and it takes place in this big furniture store called Orsk, which is an intentional rip-off of IKEA. It's the same kind of thing, you know, where they have the layout, which is all like shopping psychology, and they pretty much undercut IKEA's prices. Our main character in here is Amy, and Amy is wanting to transfer to another store. This store in here has been open for around 11 months, and she doesn't like working there, so she wants to transfer back to the store that she originally worked at. She is incredibly broke, and the manager has a vendetta against her, she thinks, and she's just trying not to get fired before her transfer to the other store goes through. So the book starts out where Amy turns up at work with everybody else who start in the morning shift, and there's a couple of strange things going on. Not far into her work day, her manager Basil pulls her into the office and says that he is looking for a couple of people to stay overnight in the store and work an overnight shift. They'll get double pay, cash in hand, and all they have to do is patrol the floor a couple of times to try and catch the people who are breaking into the store. The store is, of course, haunted. You can see here like the ghosts, and then the back of this actually is quite interesting as well. So it pretty much just follows this overnight stay at the store. It is incredibly fast-paced and also compelling. There's only a couple of spooky things that's really gone on. I'm interested to see how far this will go because I do believe it gets quite disturbing towards the end, but I am really enjoying it so far, and just because of how fast-paced it is and how little text is on the page, I do actually think that I can finish this tonight because it is only 243 pages to start off with, and I haven't put much time into this at all, and I'm already 75 pages into it. I love the format of this as well because it is really like an IKEA catalogue. You even have little details like the publishing page is actually an order form, and it has like the little fold out bit. This has like a map of the store, and oh no, my gift note, and pretty much the entire beginning of this is really just like a catalogue. And then the only other thing that's happened today, which is in fact very exciting, is that I got a little bit of book mail, and I have a proof copy of The Mask Fallen by Samantha Shannon, which is one of my most anticipated releases of 2021. Which feels weird that we're getting the 2021 releases now. This is my second 2021 arc that I have like physically. I have a couple digitally as well, but it just feels quite surreal because I've spent the entirety of this year inside, which most people have. It's weird that like time is passing and seasons are passing and things like that, and it just doesn't feel like it is. So anyway, thank you so much to Bloomsbury for sending this my way. This is the 4th book in the Bone Season series by Samantha Shannon. I am also a co-host for Bone Along, which is a read along that was hosted by Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction this time last year because we thought this book was coming out a lot sooner, and we read the first 3 books in the Bone Season last year. This year we have read the novella. We have live shows for all of them on Ashley's channel as well, and then we will be coming back to do a live show for The Mask Fallen in, I think this is released in January now. It was pushed back to February and then it was brought forward again to January, I think. That would make our live show probably in March, I want to say. If you are unfamiliar with the Bone Season as a series, it is a blend of genres. It has a bit of dystopian, a bit of sci-fi, a bit of paranormal in there, but it follows a girl called Paige Mahoney who is a clairvoyant in a world where it is illegal to be a clairvoyant. One day she's caught using her abilities when she's on the train going to see her father. It's set in like a futuristic London as well. And this leads to her being captured and imprisoned. Now Paige and everybody kind of assumes that you get executed if you're caught using your powers. However, this is not the case, and Paige gets taken to a mysterious location where the entire tone of the book completely changes. So I'm really excited to read this. It's released in January, so I think I will probably read it at the beginning of January. And once again, thank you so much to Bloomsbury for sending this to me. It's like a really hefty, chunky, like really weighty book. I really like it. The last night, as I predicted, I did manage to finish Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I do have a couple of faults with it. They're not like major things. It's just like there's quite a few characters doing this overnight shift in here, and only a handful of them are kind of mentioned, and some of them really briefly. So I would have liked it if this was maybe just like a little bit longer and we actually went a little bit more in depth about these characters. However, the way this book leaves off, it kind of leaves room for a sequel. I don't know how good a sequel would be because it might be like kind of repetitive and not really necessary, but it does have a little bit of an open ending with some of the stuff that happens in here, so it is possible that there would be a sequel to this. There is one character in here as well that really annoyed me. That was the character of Basil. Basil is the manager, and he's one of those people, I'm not sure if like you guys will have ever met any of them. I've worked in retail and service multiple times, so I have encountered people like this, but people who work for a company and they pretty much live the company ethos. So all of the stuff about like being a good employee and the employee handbook, and they like live and breathe this lifestyle. I'm definitely more like the main character in here who treats her job like a job. Like this is just the place she goes to make money so that she can pay her bills, and she's not interested in living this like super happy perky Orsk lifestyle. There is like character development in here as well with that character that I don't like, so it's not all like, oh, he's so annoying and I don't like him. I just thought I would mention it because throughout the beginning he was really annoying me and I was rolling my eyes at him. But yeah, 4 stars for this. I really liked it. I've now read 2 books by Grady Hendrix and they are the only 2 that I own, but I'm definitely interested in reading more from him. The 2 that I have are the ones that I was most interested in, and I didn't really want to get any more until I was sure that I liked him, because if I didn't like the ones that had the most interesting concepts, then I wasn't going to like the other 2. But now that I've read these and enjoyed them, I definitely think I will be reading more from Grady Hendrix again. For Bookopoly, that is my chance card done, and for the Clear Your Shit readathon, I have read a scary book. I only have 1 book left on my October TBR now, and I'm real excited about it. Not about the actual book that I'm going to read, although I do think I'm going to really like that book. Just the fact that I've nearly completed my November Bookopoly TBR. I do still have my massive extended TBR and all the readathons and read-alongs and like other stuff that I'm reading, but I think it's been a while, if ever, where I've actually completed my Bookopoly TBR so early. I've kind of gotten into the mindset now of being like, read your Bookopoly TBR first and then read everything else afterwards. And if there's things like I didn't need to read this month in terms of like read-alongs and stuff, but having this earlier in the month and having to read it earlier in the month means that I will read faster throughout the beginning of the month to make sure that I get in the books that are not on my Bookopoly TBR that I do have to read for read-alongs and things. So yeah, I think I'm getting better. It's been almost 2 years and I've finally figured out the way to avoid punishments, like 100% avoid them for Bookopoly, which is good. This is like personal growth. So as it is Sunday and the next book I'm reading is very long, it's 900 pages, and if I'm still reading 100 pages a day, like I do occasionally go over, but on the schedule of 100 pages a day, it's going to take me over a week to read. Like I will finish it a week on Monday. So as it's such a long book and I'm going to be reading it for a long ass time, I'm not going to mention it here. I have already started it. I've read the prologue, but I'm just going to wrap up this vlog and then we will get into that next week, because it is probably going to be the only book that I read next week. So this is the end of this week's vlog. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.